tear this thing apart. Got some brand new steel for this burnout car, making sure this frame is stout so we can smoke them all out. Small block power, 25-3, riding on a narrow 12-volt rear. Burnout rivals is where we'll be if we don't burn it down right here. We got everything to start. Got some new small block parts for this burnout car. Gonna do what we do best, make sure this car rips. Small block power, 25-3, riding on a narrow 12-volt rear. Burnout rivals is where we'll be if we don't burn it down right here. Now it's finally time to go. Just a few more weeks and we'll be on the road. Ain't no way we'll take it slow. See you at the Freedom Factory show. Small block power, 25-3, riding on a narrow 12-volt rear. Burnout rivals is where we'll be if we don't burn it down right here. Small block power, 25-3, riding on a narrow 12-volt rear. Burnout rivals is where we'll be if we don't burn it down right here. If we don't burn it down right here.
Dang it. Hate working over my head. This sucks.
Something tells me that's where that brace is. Not liking it. I trim that off, that could act like a drive shaft lube. Got that right there. Over here. Two and 3/4. Yeah, right there. If I cut this straight across right here, nip it there and there. Trim that back. I can retain this for a drive shaft loop. So this is where it's going to start getting tricky. That's behind it. I don't want it behind it. I like that. That'll work. And now I can trim that off. Get this chunk out of the way. so I can tap that over, weld that right to the floor. This can be a drive shaft loop, and then all this right here can be welded up and finished. Now, as far as the front goes, I can go up on top, cut across the front, the back, and the other side, and drop that out. I'll have to trim this out afterwards and leave that tubing in there. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, guys, it's been a couple days since I did that video up underneath the car. I gotta be honest, I've been okay. Wherever I was before I was rudely interrupted with another dead battery. I've been so hammered out on that Impala, I haven't messed with it. By the time I get done in the evening, I'm worn out, whooped, and ready to just relax. So let me get my big butt down here. This floor is roached, so I'm gonna get the plasma up in here. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see while I'm doing it, because you know it's only small. I'm gonna get that cut out, get a new piece made for it, and get it tacked in. Then I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna get my weld blanket and drop it down between the motor and this, and I'm gonna cut this right here. Cut it straight down. I'm gonna cut across right here and down. I'm gonna get rid of this piece, and I'm gonna put a new piece in there. And then I need to get this closed in. Once I get that, then I'm gonna get onto the floors. I gotta raise it back up, push that tunnel back over to the floor, get it welded, and then I gotta put my weld bungs in there for the seat belts. And I'm hoping by the end of today, I have this area buttoned up. I did find a gas pedal this morning in my stockpile, so I need to get up in there and get it put in, and then measure what I need for a cable. The shifter, I know it's a power glide. I'm going to go ahead and use it anyways. I don't care. I'm going to use it. I'm going to get it put in and measure what I need for whatever, however it works. It don't matter as long as it works. I'm just gonna get busy because I am really getting stressed out on this, whether I'm gonna have it done in time, financially and work-wise. So I just got to get busy, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking. Get my camera over here, maybe somehow, so you guys can see. Hang loose. Ew. That's kind of gross, if you ask me. I'm gonna have to scrape some of that out of the way, so I don't blow my tip. kind of hard to put the light up in here. That'll work right there. Okay, I'll cut across right there, down this side, and right across there, and it should just drop right out. Problem is, I got to drop it down, get this board out from under it, because I can see the board through the holes in the float. Okay. That should be enough. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think that'll work. I don't see the board under the holes now. Ow. Okay, I did burn the wood. Uh-oh. All right, guys, hold on. I broke my glasses. I got my other glasses on so I can see, and I found the lens underneath the car. Oh yeah, I cut right through that 2x8. Ha 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 ha. Okay. I'm gonna raise the car up. And trim out the bottom side. do I go ahead and do the other side, guys? I mean, I am here. I mean, honestly, probably should. I'll just pull it up tight and weld it. Good enough. It ain't a show car. It's a burnout car. It's gonna get smashed and crashed. That didn't hold. Okay, I can grind that up, get a little bit better welds on it. But right now, I need to get a measurement for this floor over here. get a piece put in. Alright. $11 and a half. 11 and a half. 11 and a half by 19. I am not getting picky with it. Let me double check that. Ain't nothing safety about it. It's just sealing the floorboard up. Hey guys, let me know in the comments, are you enjoying this build? This is a member build. I do make it public later on, but it is a members build. And very few members leave comments. like it. Hey, that was hot, right up in my glove. All right, time for a new pair of gloves. That was too hot for my comfort. You wanna see how hot it was? Look at that, guys. I don't know if you can even see it, but there's a hole in my finger. Yeah, buddy, there's a hole in that finger. Yeah, see, I keep pushing myself to do this nice. You know, like I do customer cars. Although I do want it nice, it takes too long to make it show quality for something that don't need to be show quality. Okay. I can weld across that and that from the top side. Why is this thing spitting and sputtering like that?
I'm about ready to start. Hey, I got one over there. If I got to go run down and grab one, it's not that big a deal. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna roll out of here in a minute, get chilled out, probably get
Yeah, I kind of want to use it anyway. It's got the Randy's tires are pumped up.
Oh, that was Randy.
Sorry about this.
I thought that ain't my ringtone. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I'm glad to check out these trailers.
I can weld that,
See exactly
this,
what I use my big trailer.
finish that area.
So anyway, I gotta do something. I'm good to go with the time sure they're not good load, but they're probably. Got good pickup. But anyway.
Okay. I think everything under here is pretty much ready to weld.
Looks like we got a little bit of a mess here. They just got to he gets here, I guess, as he mentioned, brakes left.
Now that's the way a welder should sound, dang it.
Maybe we might do that.
Okay.
We're going to go to the caraway tomorrow. We're going to have to get my car.
All right. I'm gonna grab my helmet and do a bit of welding, and I'll bring you back when I get up on top.
Gotta get this burnout car ready for the burnout rivals at the Freedom Factory. Metal Art Customs doing what we do, bringing the classics to life to chassis. Small block Chevy, now 12 bolt eating tires, and smoking everyone out. Cleanest Nick Fuller, but our rivals
Thank you all for watching. Remember, like, comments, share with friends, share these 2 videos to build and
plasma. You gotta turn it on. That'll work. Now I just get a new flat piece for in there, grind that up. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough for now. I need to get a strip across the front here. See why I've been putting this off? Let's go. 2.5 by 17.5. No. 2.5 by 11.5. All right. 2.5 by 11.5. Okay. That'll work right there. I guess I need to grind that up a little bit. weld it. I'll be glad when this part is done. There's that. Think I'm gonna blow it out real quick. Okay. That floor pan can all be welded up just like that. I need to make a template for this piece. Yeah, that'll give me a lot more room. Gotta tap that down. Cut that off. That'll work. Gotta find my hammer. Oh, there it is. That's gonna give me a lot more room in here. All right. That'll work. Now I need to fill in around the column. While I'm here, I might as well do it. And then I can just weld all this up and it'll be done. That should fit over, but I can't guarantee it. All right, let's see what it looks like. Man, I don't know. Hey, right there is perfect. Don't move. Don't move. Okay, that'll work. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that. Now, get the collar tightened back up. Had to loosen the column in order to get that piece up in there. Come on. Okay. Column is in. I can weld this side, across the bottom, down this side, that slit, and then I'll have to go up in the engine bay to weld the top side. All right. I'm gonna say it is in and ready to go. What else do I got? The seat belt brackets. That ain't no big deal there. Got seat belt brackets. I guess it's just all the welding. There is a lot of welding.
Don't know if you remember a few years back in the fall. We drove out to the city, stayed in a motel on the wall. Next day walked out to the front desk, asked the man, what do you have in mind? He said, boy, we got everything. Get out there, go have a time. And he said, hot rod streets and custom cars. We got bright lights and country bars. Got the fastest trains around. Get out there, go paint the town. Now we know what he's saying. Every time we hit the town, we bring the whole crew with us. Ain't nothing gonna slow us down. He said, hot rod streets and custom cars. We got bright lights and country bars. Got the fastest trains around. Get out there, go paint the town.
Sorry, that one.
They said,
This
where
one's
did
pretty
you
well
come from?
stripped.
We said, a few hours away. They said, where did you hear about us? We said, a man told us one day.
Don't need none of that negativity. All right. Now, it should set in there flat. sitting cockeyed. Oh yeah, that's much better. Put it on the floor! I feel like I'm facing that way. I also feel like I'm sitting flat on the ground. I mean, it ain't that hateful. There's my brake, there's my gas pedal. Ooh, that's a big wheel for a suicide ball. It's not hateful. Not the greatest, but not hateful. Shifter right there. Should be good. I don't like where the door handle is on this thing. It's clear at the back of the door. If I could just get this seat to turn just a little bit. I'll be good with it right here. It just feels awkward. I gotta tap that down, weld it. Oh, I didn't weld that up top. Okay, I gotta weld that top side yet. Okay, I don't think I'll be using that mirror. This is gonna be fun, full of gear. All right, so if I can get, okay, I see the bracket's hitting the tunnel at the bottom. Hitting right there at the very bottom. Okay, that moved it over some. Now the seat itself, I can't smoosh it over like that. That tunnel's just a little bit too wide. Just a little bit too wide. I've got plenty of room around the transmission, so. That moved it over about an inch. Feels a lot better. I do kind of like it. It's back all the way. Right there would work. Okay, I gotta make a mount. Oh yeah, right there would be, right there it'd be perfect. I might have to take the cover off the back, narrow that up a little bit. Because that's nice and straight right there. Yeah, hitting here, which is kind of cocking it sideways on me. Put that there to remind me that needs welded yet. Honestly, I'm not too concerned with the passenger seat. There will never be a passenger in this side. which makes me wonder if I should put the battery here. I don't know. I'll have to get a hold of Chris on that one. I don't know what the regulations are on that. But the floors are all welded in except that one area. Gotta grind it all up. Pick up some seam sealer and go around all the seams. You know, the seams that are stitched anyways. I don't care about those. I gotta put my seatbelt bungs in, but I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the seats first. At least one seat. I gotta have something. I don't know. I'm gonna go home and think about that for a minute. After I get an Advil, I'll think about it. Steering looks good down in there. Gotta grind it up yet, but hey, it's good. Okay, so I'm gonna go over in my head. Underneath the car, I've cut out all the garbage. All that needs to be cut out. I've cleaned it up. I put the driver's floorboard in. Welded it all up. Fixed my tunnel. Fixed the hole for the steering column through the firewall. So that's taken care of. I found my gas pedal. I laid it somewhere. I lost my gas pedal. It's here somewhere. I just had it. Where did you go? I know I just had it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. All right, found my gas pedal. It'll take a little modifications, but that needs to be about up in there. Okay. Steering goes right on the other side of this. I'm going to need to shorten this up quite a bit. Because I'm going to raise that up enough that the pedal's up off the floor. Preferably clear up there. Flip this around this way. I have the bracket up here. When I push, this will go down and operate the pedal, and then the cable can run this way up and around. That could work. The pedal will need to be about that angle. I could have the bracket right here, the cable coming straight down to the pedal, roll across here and into the engine bay. If I do that, I think a 36-inch cable will work. Okay, I got some more thinking to do. There's a lot to building one of these cars. Especially when it's never been done before like this. I mean, somebody's probably put a V8 in one. I have no doubt about that, but they've never done it like this. Guaranteed. All right, guys, I'm gonna go home, get me an Advil, a cup of coffee, do a little bit of thinking. All right, guys, till the next one, have a blessed day.
Pedal to the floor,